I hope the audio works on this. Hiya, Hinsters, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome too. My name is Hinny. I am a spiritual astrologer. Please do subscribe and give this channel or this video a thumbs up if you resonate and like what I do. I'm not sure how many people will tune in to this live stream today on this Saturn day, Moon in Pisces, Cancer season day. But the title of today's video is, should you get a reading with me? Now, I'll explain also why I'm not showing my face today. It's because I am severely sunburnt and I look like an Oompa Loompa, so I won't be showing my face because of that. Severe sunburn. I've been housebound since Tuesday. It's been quite rough, actually. I wanted to make videos during that time, but I've just been in too much pain. But today the pain is easing a little bit. So here we are. And let me know in the comments, by the way, if you've ever had severe sunburn and how you kind of dealt with that. Because it's, yeah, very painful. Anyway, should you get a reading with me? Now, I wanted to make this video for the Hinsters, of course, but also for any new people to the channel, and also for people who subscribe to my channel but didn't know that I actually offer readings, as well as the content that I produce for this channel. I am an astrologer, a practicing astrologer and tarot reader. I call myself sometimes an astro tarot reader. So this video is kind of like to give you an idea of whether or not you should choose me, pick me, to do a reading for you. Because of course I charge, I have a rate, and this is your money, which is going towards a particular service, a reading. So I think it's good for you to know what kind of readers you have to choose from and what kind of things they do and don't do, and that can help you make a better decision, I think, instead of going with a reader who you thought was going to be one way but actually wasn't, and feeling like you wasted your time, your money, when you could have found someone or something that is more for you, that resonates more with you. But I'll get to this point of resonance later. The first thing I want to say, should you get a reading with me, is that there are testimonials. So if you want, you can go to my website. It's hinnyhigh.com. I'll pop it in the description as well, but you can go to my website now. Go to the testimonials page and read actual texts from actual people I've done readings for. Some of them return clients, some of them one time. And you can see for yourself what other people have said. And in those testimonials, they don't just say, oh, Henny was good or whatever, but like they detail what types of reading and the specifics and how it helped them individually. And so you can see if that's what you're looking for. And you can see how other people have responded. Also, if you didn't know already, I'm pretty queer. I am therefore very LGBTQIA plus friendly. And I know that that is important to some of the Hinsters, to some people seeking readings. So it's a safe space, it's an open space. You can discuss topics that might sometimes relate to your sexuality or gender identity without feeling like the reader is going to judge you or, I don't know, discriminate against you in some way or make you feel otherwise uncomfortable. Or even sometimes, I have heard of sometimes readers outright denying to read for someone they know is gay, which is pretty crazy, but it happens. It's an actual thing. So yes, generally I am LGBTQIA plus friendly with my readings, but also I don't have that heteronormative approach or interpretation in my readings. So you won't hear me saying things like Venus represents the woman, Mars the man, or Mars is your masculinity. Although there are some traditional interpretations that I might mention that connote these things, I don't give genders to the planets or anything like that. And I don't make interpretations based on gendered planets. So that's something that you might resonate with or like to consider. Also, I have a Hellenistic traditional approach, which sometimes in queer fields or queer studies is a bit like converse or contradictory, because I think there is a lot of binary stuff and stereotypes derived from traditional astrology, but rather what I really think that is just people's projections of sexism, homophobia, heteronormativity onto the reading through the lens of Hellenistic traditional astrology. I don't actually believe that Hellenistic traditional astrology is anti-queer. So, and there are plenty astrologers who practice from the Hellenistic traditional position who are obviously not discriminatory or using that heteronormative approach. So don't be afraid of the Hellenistic traditional astrology and think that it is somehow anti-modern. It's not. But I will say that in my readings, because I use the Hellenistic traditional approach, I use whole sign houses. And I don't use the Placidus or some other house system. So keep that in mind. If you're someone who's very staunchly for the Placidus system or some other system that is not whole sign, yeah, maybe I'm not the reader for you, because you might get a shock. If for example, you've asked for a general birth chart reading and you had a reading with another astrologer before using Placidus, when you come to me, you might have like a whole other rising sign and therefore whole other houses, and planets might even be in whole other houses. And that could be quite shocking or confusing. So I recommend you stick to the house system that you resonate with, genuinely, sincerely, and that you pick readers who use those systems. But the system itself has to be your system, the one that you're comfortable with first and foremost. So sometimes people just need to spend some time finding the system that makes the most sense and then pick the reader, or and then go into interpreting based on that system. Anywho, I'm also a spiritual astrologer, as I mentioned at the beginning, so come to me with a question or a concern, generally speaking. I prefer clients and readings where you actually want to get something out of it, where you're actually pursuing some answer, or there's actually something going on for you where you think, you feel a reading could help you. It's a bit like going to therapy, not just out of curiosity, but because that going to therapy is going to help you in some way. I'm not saying that readings have to help you grow or evolve. I'm not an evolutionary astrologer. But I am saying that there has to be some sincerity or some... It's not even about a point, but like a sincerity. There has to be a synchronicity, a resonance, a reason that you are coming for a reading. So that's why I say generally come to me with a question or a concern. And that kind of bleeds into another point, really, of how I don't really do readings that are like pop astrology or, 12 signs, 12 personalities. I'm not really into those sessions where you just want to talk about how much you love or hate a certain sign. That's really not what my practice will offer you, or my channel even. I am more about rising and ascendant astrology. I'll get onto that point in a bit. But yeah, I don't really recommend you choose me if you want a reading where you're just like, tell me all about me. If you want that, I can do it, but it might, I don't know, it might disappoint you. Because some people only want to hear the good things about themselves. Or some people they come into a reading and they just want to be validated or confirmed. And sometimes that's important, being validated. But people can get very upset easily if they hear something different about their rising sign or different about their placement. Some people don't like to see the shadow sides, or they don't like to they just like to overlook some things. And I'm not saying that's a right or wrong thing, but if you are approaching any reader with that kind of, I guess, fixed idea of your placements and your rising sign, be prepared to be disappointed sometimes or challenged, either by the reader themselves or by the reading, the whole experience, or by how you feel afterwards. But that in itself can be quite a teaching moment and quite interesting. So I don't know. Maybe do it anyway. It's up to you. But, if you're coming to me to tell you about yourself, there is something about that, right? And ask yourself about that. Why are you going to someone else to tell you about yourself? Do you know yourself? And if you don't know yourself, do you really want to know yourself? Because spiritual astrology can really tell you about yourself, but I'm telling you, it won't always be a nice experience, or at least it might just be different to what you envisage or imagine. So similar to my previous point of come with a point, also come ready to hear things that you don't expect. This doesn't mean that you have to believe everything an astrologer tells you or accept it. Not at all. Just like in a therapy session, you don't have to listen to all the advice. You don't have to take the session as an instruction. Again, it can just be an experience that actually teaches you something quite different in the aftermath. And the aftermath of a reading is just as important, I think, as the reading itself. What you take away from it. And readings to me are really special because they unravel. The reading itself is more like a seed or a bud, and then when you're done, there's this unraveling that happens, maybe hours after, or days, weeks, months, maybe even longer after. For me, I have one or two readings, because I've been to astrologers as well, but I have one reading, for example, which I did 3-4 years ago with that person, but the reading they gave me still stays with me, and there are like whole sentences and just mind-blowing things that will stay with me forever. But they were kind of things that unfurled and unraveled later, days, weeks, months after the reading, and still I'm unfurling things from that reading. And so readings are very special. So take not just the reading itself, but the aftermath. And there's so much value in that. So find a reader who you think can also provide you with that, if that's what you're looking for. Okay, so I also specialize in rising or ascendant signs, as you might know if you've been watching my channel. Let me just have some water. But yes, I specialize in rising ascendants, and that can also throw some people off. So if you're used to sun sign astrology, which is basically associating the personality with your sun sign, for example, I'm a Cancer sun, therefore I'm very Cancerian, and my personality is very Cancerian, and no one can tell me anything different. If you're that kind of person and you go for those kinds of readings and that kind of astrology, I would say don't come to me for a reading. Because quite likely you're going to be upset or shocked or disappointed. But do come to me if you have been kind of mired or confused by sun sign astrology and you want rising ascendant perspectives, do come to me for that if you want that unexpected result. Otherwise, don't, because I do tell my clients quite bluntly in readings that unless your sun is in the first house, the third house, or unless you're a Leo rising, the sun really doesn't have that much to do with your personality. That is my take. And that can really shock people or upset people. And it's because of modern psychological astrology, evolutionary astrology, even, and the oversimplification and the ABC astrology and the division of people into 12 personalities, which is really absurd, but it also makes sense because the sun is very hard to miss. Says someone who's streaming right now, severely sunburnt. The sun is pretty hard to miss, and it's no wonder that we are very, very much, a lot of us, very, very much enamored with the sun. But don't get too close to it, and don't get too close. But anyway, rising ascendant sign astrology, Hellenistic astrology, is what I do. So come to me if you want that kind of reading. And hi, if you're just tuning in, the reason you can't see me is because I'm severely sunburnt. So that's why you just see the ceiling right now. But hi, do say hi in the comments. Let me know you're here. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what I do. It is a live stream, but you can play it back if you want later. It will be a regular video on the channel. Anyway, yeah, rising ascendant Hellenistic astrology. That's the personality, the rising ascendant sign. That's the individual. That's the spirit, the body that you are. So when you come with questions about you as an individual or your personality, tell me about me, that is what I'm going to focus on, really. I'm only really focusing on the first house and also the third. I've mentioned a couple times, I think, on my channel why I focus also on the third house for personality. But really everything else, every other planet or placement outside of those houses, I'm not going to be associating with your personality. And that can be quite shocking or unusual for some people. So keep that in mind as well. Of course, I will talk about those other placements and the other houses and the other planets, but I will be talking about them in the senses of Hellenistic astrology and the areas of karma themes that don't have to do with you, but more other parts of your life, like your partners or your career or your dreams, your something, something, something. So Mars being outside of the first, third house and not ruling those houses and being in another house, I'm going to talk about that Mars in the context of the house themes and not in the context of my Mars means this about me. So keep that in mind. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, moving on. Chiron is... Chiron is something that I want to talk about as well. I have studied a lot about Chiron. I am a Chiron ascendant, so there's no wonder there. And I love to talk about Chiron. I love to help people understand Chiron, those who are interested in their Chiron placement. So if you want a Chiron specific reading, definitely come to me. And I have a couple of videos on my channel as well, where I kind of reveal some of the less discussed or lesser known sides of Chiron. And yeah, if you're interested, get a reading with me and we'll talk all about the Chiron placement or just Chiron generally. By the way, I do readings that just talk about astrology generally. It doesn't have to be about your chart. Some people come to me and they just want to learn astrology, or they just want to talk about certain aspects and what they mean, or certain techniques. So if that's you, please come to me for a reading. I'm very happy to teach, to share what I do know. I don't know everything, but I'm very happy to teach and share what I do. And if it helps you learn more about reading your own chart, reading other people's charts, reading other charts in general, moving forward, then that's a bonus, right? So yeah, I do those types of reading as well. So you could just come to me to talk about Chiron as an archetype. I'm happy to do that. Also, I would say as an individual myself, as a practicing astrologer, I have a lot of magpie spirit. So I do talk about the good and the bad. So again, if you're someone who doesn't like to talk about both, maybe don't come to me for a reading. I won't be offended. Also, if you're someone who only wants to hear the good, or someone who only wants to focus on the bad and is very fatalistic, I'm probably not the reader for you, because I can see in the chart both. And yes, I practice Hellenistic astrology, but it's grounded also in ancient philosophy of light and shade and the seasons of karma and fate. So Hellenistic astrology is not as, or traditional astrology is not as fatalistic as some people think. So don't be afraid of that either, or confused by that. Actually, in our reading, we'll talk a lot about how we can work with what we've been dealt with or what we haven't been dealt with. And my readings are not kind of sentencings or fatalistic conclusions. And they're not even instructive, my readings. Again, I'm not an evolutionary astrologer, so I won't tell you that you have to do this, or you have to unlock this, or you have to wait until this before you can do that. Like, I won't be as instructive as some readers are, or as you might think I will be. But yeah, I give the good and the bad, and I practice spiritual astrology. So this is light and shade. This is the idea of all the 12 seasons of the year being just a sequence of light, shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow. And how, just like now in Cancer season, we're in a shadow season, it is more beneficial for us as spirits to go more inward, for example, or to be somehow more emotional or pensive, or to go back home more, to explore roots of things more, to hide away in a shell a bit more. And then when Leo season comes along later, that's going to be a light season. So more about getting on the stage of life, more about brave expression, extroversion, more about pride and fighting for the family, the group, the collective. So in my readings, in my practice, I talk about that and the ebb and flow of the seasons. And so if you're interested in that, if spiritual astrology and light shadow, both of them resonate with you, then I'm the reader for you. And hi, if you're just tuning in, I'm not showing my face because I'm severely sunburnt, but hello, do leave a comment if you're here. I reply to all comments. Also, I want to say my next point is, tell me what you don't want to know in a reading. So if you don't want to hear about the bad things, or you don't want to hear about the good things, okay, I can accommodate. Just like I accommodate these general tell me about me readings, I do them. I can also agree to not mention things that you don't want to talk about. Because some people have triggers, some people have sensitive areas, and again, I'm not this like didactic reader who's going to force you to face everything in your chart in one session or even in a number of sessions. It's a two-way street, and you tell me what you are and are not comfortable with. You tell me what you're ready for, what you're not ready for. And then we move accordingly. And also that will save the embarrassment or the upset or the surprise if you just tell me what you don't want to know. Because if you don't tell me that you don't want to know something, then I'm probably going to touch on it in some way. And I don't want to like offend or upset my clients. So please tell me what you don't want to know as well as what you do. Now let's talk about the technical stuff. So how I do my readings, literally. So I do them mainly via Zoom and live. I could do via Skype as well, or Teams even, but mainly Zoom. And that's my most preferred method. And the reason is because obviously most of my clients are all around the world. So that's the reason, really. But also, the reason why I do them live is because a reading is very organic. And let's say you book a reading for next month. By the time the date comes, your question or your purpose, your reason might have changed quite a bit. And I don't want that date to be a representation of only the topics or the question I prepared on the time you contacted me, if that makes sense, on the time you asked the question. I want also for the question to evolve, the theme, the concern to evolve, and for you to be able to kind of go back on something, or for you to add something, or for you to change entirely something. I want that organic nature to be there, and that's why I like live readings. And also, as I'm saying something to you in a reading, new questions might occur to you, or there might be something that you want me to explain, or something you don't understand. And so that's why a live reading is really important, because you get that moment to interject, you get that moment to ask. Whereas if it's not a live reading, you have to follow up, and I might have to charge again for another session. It depends what it is, but sometimes I will ask, okay, this is a lot of follow-up, so we're going to have to schedule another session. Other times I'll just provide a quick, free of charge answer. But I prefer live readings because it's more authentic, it's more... I'm right there with you, and it's natural, it's organic. But also you get to follow up and answer new things and learn new in the moment things. Hiya, if you're just tuning in, do give this a thumbs up if it resonates, this topic. And I'm not showing myself right now because I'm very, very sunburnt, looking like an Oompa Loompa. But anyway, Zoom live readings are the ones I prefer the most. But also I do pre-recorded video readings. So if you want me to record a video based on your question, your topic, that's what I do. And I send you the private YouTube link or Google Drive, and it's yours forever to watch back as many times as you like. So that's, some people prefer that because you can go back to it. I do allow recording of live readings, but I want you to tell me, please. Tell me that you're recording. I'm very happy, but let me know, because maybe sometimes I don't want a certain background or location to be recorded. So if it's a live reading and you're recording, just let me know, please. And other types of reading I do are text readings, so PDF sometimes, or email. I don't do WhatsApp readings or chat readings. It's just very annoying for me personally. But sometimes, yeah, I do text readings through files, PDF, or through emails. But again, if you can choose the live option, I recommend you choose that one, because it's just so much more efficient in terms of what you're trying to achieve from the reading. Because I might misunderstand your question as well. And in a live reading, you can clarify for me what you actually meant or your intention. Finally, I do in-person readings as well, but only here in London, UK. If I do become a jet setter and I'm in other cities, then maybe around the world, then yeah, maybe I'll do in-person readings there. But at the moment, London, UK only for in-person. And another point is that I do tarot readings. Some people know this. The original Hinsters know that I do tarot as well. Actually, tarot is how I got into astrology in the first place. And so if you would like a tarot reading or an astro tarot reading, which combines both, I've done many of those types of reading. I really enjoy delving both into the cards and the chart to answer questions or to address concerns. So come to me if you want a tarot reading. And I don't do reversals. Or I don't do reversals anymore. So if you like tarot readings where there are no reversals, if you resonate, then you can come to me. And finally, that is the question. Do you resonate? So do you resonate with me and my channel, my content? Is it your vibe? That's really the ultimate question. Otherwise, don't waste your money or your time, you know? I would say go find another reader that you resonate with. That's what I do. I watch and I listen to and I read so many different teachers and astrologers, but there's only a handful who I'd actually give my money to and my time to, because I deeply resonate with them. All the others, it's just for learning, really, like general learning. But there's like 2 or 3 who I have that deep resonance with and I want to go back to even. If you resonate with me, then come to me. Alrighty, so services that I provide general chart readings, general birth chart, natal chart readings. I also provide transit reports. So if you're interested in, what does Mars going through Taurus right now mean for me and my life and my experience, my fate, then I'm the one. I can provide those readings for you. I also do return charts, whether that be Saturn return charts or solar return charts. I've done these before. But I also do Mercury return charts, Venus return charts. So any planetary return that you're interested in, we can talk about, we can discuss. 3-piece package as well. I have created this 3-piece package, Hinny's 3-piece package product, which is a PDF. It's 20 plus pages of information based on your birth data. It talks about your traditional planetary placements. It has a personality profile. And it also talks about your life path ruler or your ascendant rising sign ruler. And this is perfect for people who want a text source that they can go back to many times forever and ever. And it's very concise. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. I also provide birth chart rectification services, and this is really near and dear to me because I myself received a birth chart rectification back in the day when I was starting, and it really meant a lot to me. And so if you are someone who is seeking, or you know someone who is seeking to rectify their chart, which means to find out their rising sign. Some people cannot because they don't have the birth time. Maybe because they don't have the certificate, or people don't remember, relatives don't remember, or there's just no otherwise way to find out the birth time. You can get a birth chart rectification. And I've done this before, and I think it's very important. And I also, if you don't know the time at all, I'm also adopting the traditional method, which was to use the ascendant or the rising sign of the actual time, place, and date of when the client comes to the astrologist. So that becomes the rising sign and the chart, the birth chart of the individual. So very, very interesting. This ancient method. Finally, yes, I do tarot readings. So if you want a tarot reading, just simply, that has nothing to do with astrology, you can come to me, because I do tarot every single day for myself. And I do tarot readings for others. And if you want a combination again of astrology and tarot, come to me. I'm the one. And I'm going to, in the future, be doing videos for all the rising ascendant signs monthly, tarot astro readings. So look out for that. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you are interested in that when it does come about. Yeah, that's this little stream over, I think. I hope it resonated for some people, and I hope the Hinsters got a better idea of whether or not they should get a reading with me. Look in the description box below for the information as to how to contact me to book or inquire about a reading. I do currently, by the way, offer 50% off for Cancer Suns, Cancer Risings, all Cancer season. So all you need to do is book your reading during Cancer season. You don't have to, the date of the reading doesn't have to be in Cancer season. It can be later, but the booking itself has to be made in Cancer season to get that discount. And it's only for Cancer Suns or Cancer Risings, but you can book a gift reading as well. If you know a Cancer that you want to give a gift reading to, you can do that as well with the same discount. And I do this every season for every sign. So next season, Leo season, I'll be doing the same discount for you Leos, you Leo risings. So look out for that, please. And also I offer one more discount, and that is the first time Hinster discount. So if you've never had a reading with me, but you want one, I offer you 50% off. And that's regardless of what your sign is. That's just if you are a first-time client. So get in touch with me if you'd like that, or if you would like that for someone else as well. I do gift readings quite often. If you want a gift reading, by the way, I would say please be sure that the person is interested in astrology, that the person wants a reading. I would say please don't presume that your loved one or family member wants a reading. Check with them first, or know that you know that they would appreciate it, because otherwise it's a very awkward experience for both them and me, the reader. Okay, that's enough, my loves. I'll be back very soon with another stream, later today actually. So stay tuned. I love you very much. Stay safe and well, and have a nice Saturn day. Bye bye. I love you. Mwah. Yeah. That's my sunburn. Bye. Bye bye bye.